Have you ever felt lost, like everything you once held dear has been stripped away? Imagine leaving your home, your family, everything you know, only to find yourself in a foreign land with nothing but grief and uncertainty. This is where we find Ruth, a young woman from Moab, whose life took an unimaginable turn. Ruth's story begins with loss. She married into an Israelite family who had moved to her country of Moab to escape a famine. But tragedy struck not once, but 3 times. Her father-in-law, her brother-in-law, and then her own husband all passed away. She was left a widow, alongside her mother-in-law, Naomi, and her sister-in-law, Orpah. Naomi, heartbroken and bitter, decided to return to her homeland of Bethlehem. She urged her daughters-in-law to go back to their own families, to find new husbands and new lives. Orpah, with tears in her eyes, agreed and returned home. But Ruth made a different choice, a choice that would change everything. She looked at Naomi and said some of the most famous words in the Bible: "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." In that moment, Ruth wasn't just choosing to stay with Naomi. She was choosing a new life, a new people, and a new faith. She was placing her trust in a God she was just beginning to know. So, the 2 women, a grieving mother and a loyal daughter-in-law, made the long journey to Bethlehem. They arrived with nothing, at the beginning of the barley harvest. To survive, Ruth went to the fields to glean, to pick up the leftover grain that the harvesters had missed. It was humble, difficult work, reserved for the poorest of the poor. But Ruth wasn't just working for herself, she was providing for Naomi. Her dedication and hard work did not go unnoticed. The field she happened to be in belonged to a man named Boaz, a wealthy and respected landowner who was also a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz saw Ruth working tirelessly and was impressed by her character. He had heard about her loyalty to Naomi, how she had left her own land and people to care for her mother-in-law. Boaz showed her extraordinary kindness. He told his workers to leave extra grain for her and made sure she was safe. He saw something special in Ruth, her unwavering faith and her selfless love. Naomi, seeing Boaz's kindness, realized this could be God's hand at work. She saw a path to redemption for both herself and Ruth. In their culture, there was a custom of the kinsman redeemer, a male relative who could marry a widow to protect her and carry on the family line. Naomi guided Ruth on how to approach Boaz according to their traditions, a bold and risky move. Ruth followed her instructions, placing her future completely in Boaz's hands, and ultimately, in God's. Boaz, moved by Ruth's virtue and her trust, was honored. He promised to act as her kinsman redeemer. After settling a legal claim with another relative, Boaz joyfully married Ruth. The woman who had arrived in Bethlehem with nothing was now the wife of a respected leader. She was no longer a stranger, but a cherished member of the community. Her emptiness was filled with love, security, and a new family. But the story doesn't end there. Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed, and Obed would become the father of Jesse, and Jesse would become the father of David, Israel's greatest king. This means that Ruth, the foreigner from Moab, the widow who had lost everything, became the great-grandmother of King David and an ancestor in the lineage of Jesus Christ. Ruth's story is a powerful reminder that our circumstances do not define our destiny. She started with nothing but a loyal heart and a glimmer of faith. Through her faithfulness, God orchestrated a story of redemption that rippled through generations. It shows that no matter how dark our path seems, no matter how much we've lost, God is always working behind the scenes, turning our stories of sorrow into sagas of incredible blessing. He sees our loyalty, our quiet acts of love, and He can weave them into a tapestry far more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspirational stories from the Bible. We'll see you in the next video.